Hello, everybody. First of all, hello, Ava. And hello, Murphy. All right. So I've got some problems that were requested. We're in section 4.1, and we are trying to find the missing x value on number 105. They gave us in the problem two ordered pairs and the slope. They gave us the slope of 3, and they gave us the ordered pair 6, negative 4, 6, and then x2. And we could, there's actually two ways to approach this. We could use the slope formula. We know what the slope is, and the slope formula is m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Well, we know our y2, we know our x2, we have our slope, we know our y1, and we're trying to figure out what our x1 needs to be. Well, what we can do is basically end up cross-multiplying this over to the other side, and then 6 minus 2 is 4, and we'll distribute. We get negative 12 minus 3x, adding 12 on both sides. I have 16 is equal to a negative 3x, and we'll divide both sides by negative 3, and we have our x being negative 16/3. Or you could have used the point slope form of a line, and you would have plugged in that y minus 6 is equal to 3 times x plus 4, because that's the point that you know. And you know the y value, and you're trying to figure out what the x value is of the other point. So you plug the 2 in for the y, and you're going to solve this for x. And so you end up having negative 4 is equal to 3x plus 12. Subtract 12 on both sides. Negative 16 is equal to 3x, and then you divide by 3, and you get the same value there. Number 108, they give you 2 points. The 2 points are 2a comma b and a comma b plus 1. And whenever we're dealing with an equation of a line, we need to find a slope. So we did y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we did b plus 1 minus b, and then a minus 2a. Well, the b's eliminate, and so you have 1. And then in the denominator you get negative a. And now we have a point. I circled it, or put a square around it, or a rectangle around it, forgive me. And that's the one we're going to plug in. So I went y minus the b is equal to negative 1 over a, and then x minus 2a. Now we will distribute the 1 over a, and x times 1 over a is a negative x over a. Negative 1 over a times a 2a is a positive 2. The a's would cancel. I'm going to add b onto both sides, and we have y is equal to negative x over a plus the quantity 2 plus b. This represents the y-intercept. Okay. Sorry for jiggling the camera. Now, number 10 says it's parallel, 110 is parallel to this line, and it goes through this ordered pair. Well, the significance is that the slope matches when they're parallel. When they're perpendicular, they're negative reciprocal. So you change the sign and you turn the slope over. So if it was negative 1/2, you'd make it positive 2. So the 1/2 would get flipped, becoming 2 over 1, and then the sign would change. And if it was positive 3/4, you'd turn it over and you'd have a negative 4/3. Okay. Well, again, we're going to use the point slope form of a line because we have a point and we have a slope. And I tend not to like to work with decimals, so I converted it to 1 over 100. Distribute it to both, so I have negative 1 over 100x plus 1 over 100. I added 2 onto both sides, and that's how this 2 got to the right-hand side. I need to get a common denominator, so I did 2 over 100, or 200 over 100, forgive me. And then you have the 1 over 100 plus the 200 over 100, and you get 201 over 100. And you could do the decimal representation of this because the decimals terminate. It wouldn't be in violation of anything. All right. We also had section 4.3, number 32. And I think that part of the problem is that the directions weren't horribly clear. And to be fair, when I read it the first time, I thought, oh, it seems like a decent problem. But now that I've read it closer, I'm going, I'm not sure that it is very clear. So they told you to select these 5 x values. And then what I'm assuming that they were looking for was the y values that were off of the line that we were supposed to graph. So you have f of x is equal to 1/2 x plus 10. They give it as the 0.5, but I, again, like to work with fractions. So I took the -2 and I plugged it in. So 1/2 of -2 is -1. -1 plus 10 is 9. So I have the ordered pair -2, 9. And then I'll take the 1 and I plug it in, and I have a 1/2 plus 10, so that's 10.5. Here's my 10.5. 5 over 2, because we plugged the 5 in, so that's 2.5 plus 10 is 12.5. And then we get 13 and then 14.5. Now, what you're supposed to do is go to your stat key. You're going to hit enter on edit. Okay. And you're going to put this X list in L1. And you're going to put this Y list in L2. After you've typed that all in, and make sure that's a negative, not a subtraction. The negative key is down at the bottom. After you've typed this all in, you're going to hit the stat key. You're going to go to calculate, and you're going to look for linreg, linear regression, AX plus B. And you should get an A is equal to 1/2 and a B is equal to 10. And I had told you before to turn your diagnostics on. So you should be getting an R value that is 1. And that's the best we can be. Those points are directly on the line all the way. Okay? Well, hopefully that's helpful.